morning and welcome. This is Newspaper Review coming to you from Carnival Radio. My name is Joseph Oyukola. And here are the headlines. Tinubu rallies NSA monarchs as hunger protest looms. I would have dropped governorship ambition if Obaseki was reasonable, says Shaibu. Oyo State faction opposes fresh selection process for Alafin. Federal government spent $1.5 billion to protect oil installations in 4 years, says SGF Akume. Protests. Marks states rise against violent action. To begin the newspaper review this morning, President Bola Tinubu on Thursday held emergency meetings with all the All Progressives Congress state governors, prominent traditional rulers and ulamas, Islamic religion scholars at the Hassel Rock Villa Abuja as part of effort by the government to ensure the planned hunger protest slated for August 1 to 10 is averted nationwide. The meetings come after a growing calls for the anti-hunger protests following the widespread economic hardships in the country. The protests, which are being organized under the hashtag End Bad Governance, have gained significant traction on social media even as the organizers remain unknown, with no group officially claiming responsibility. President Tinubu first met with APC governors under the aegis of the Progressive Governors Forum at this presidential villa Abuja at 1 p.m. The meeting lasted for about an hour and 15 minutes. The meeting follows an earlier one by the Nigerian Governors Forum on Wednesday night and comes after a last-minute cancellation of the National Economic Council meeting earlier scheduled for Thursday afternoon. News may also spotted the National Security Advisor, Nolu Rabidu, Ministers of Finance and Budget and Economic Planning, Wale Edun, and Abubakar Bagudu, respectively, at the meeting. The meeting with the prominent traditional rulers began at about 2:30 p.m. when the president arrived at the council chamber in the villa and ended at 4 p.m. The Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammad Saidi Abubakar III, and the Oni of Ife, Obadeyayi Enito Gusi, led the royal fathers at the meeting with the Vice President Kashim Shettima, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, Ribadu, and Inspector General Police, Kayode Egbajokun, in attendance. Governor Abdulrazak Abdurrahim of Kwara State, who also doubles as the chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, and Governor Hope Uzodinma of Imo State, who chairs the Progressive Governors Forum, were part of the meeting. Edun and Bagudu also joined the president at the meeting. Afterwards, the president had another meeting with the ulamas, which ended after 6 p.m. For more details, please visit Punch newspaper. Tinubu rallies NSA monarchs as hunger protest looms. Meanwhile, the reinstated Deputy Governor of Oyo State, Philip Shaibu, said had his principal, Godwin Obaseki, been reasonable and spoken to him well, Shaibu, would have dropped his governorship ambition and allowed the governor have his way in order to preserve their relationship. Shaibu, who described Obaseki as a dictator, said he became more resolved to pursue his governorship ambition after Obaseki threatened he would destroy him if he did not back down. He maintained that he won the Oyo State People's Democratic Party's governorship primary because he had 381 delegates who wouldn't have voted for him had not been shot out of the Samuel Ogbemudua Stadium in Benin, where the exercise took place on February 22. Shaibu, who has now defeated from the PDP to the All Progressives Congress, spoke on Wednesday when he paid a courtesy visit to the APC National Working Committee in Abuja. He said he felt betrayed by Obaseki despite all his sacrifices and loyalty to him. Looking pensive, the deputy governor told newsmen that he did everything humanly possible to pacify his boss to no avail. Obaseki, he said, were in court. He described as false the claim that he went away with 22 official vehicles after his impeachment. According to the accountant turned politician, the governor bought only one official car for his convoy and 7.5 years of the administration. For more details, please visit Punch newspaper. I would have dropped governorship ambition if Obaseki was reasonable, says Shaibu. In the meantime, a faction of the Oyo Town kingmakers, known as Oyo Messi, have kicked against any plan by the Oyo State government to commence a fresh process to select the Alafin of Oyo. Counsel for the kingmakers, Kunle Sobaloju's son, wrote the Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde, warning against restarting the process to select a new Alafin of Oyo. The kingmakers, through Sobaloju, were reacting to media reports suggesting the move to discard the process concluded by the kingmakers. He advised the governor not to do anything that could prejudice pending appeals in court. Following the death of the Alafin of Oyo, Obalamidi Adeyemi, on April 22, 2022, there was a crisis as the Oyo Messi engaged the Oyo State government in a legal battle over the selection of the new monarch. After a nomination process by the valid ruling house, the kingmakers met, screened the 82 contestants and chose Prince Lukman Badegesin, whose name was forwarded to the Oyo State government for ratification. Following opposition to the choice of Badegesin by 3 of the kingmakers, the Oyo State government ordered a repeat of the exercise. The majority of the kingmakers, led by the Bashono of Oyo, High Chief Yusuf Ayola, however, took the government to court. The Ibadan-based lawyer representing the Oyo Messi in court, in his letter to Makinde, stated, "We wish to restate that in view of the pending appeals in appeal number CAIB 13424, High Chief Yusuf Akínadé Ayola Layinka and OSA, Governor of Oyo State, and the pending application for interlocutory orders for injunction restraining Your Excellency, servant, agent, assigns, and or privies or otherwise, and however, from aborting the process for the selection, appointment of the candidate for filling the vacant stool for Alafin of Oyo." For more details, please visit Punch newspaper. Oyo Messi faction opposes fresh election process for Alafin. In another development, the federal government has spent over 1.5 billion to protect Nigerians' oil installations and curb crude oil theft. George Akume, the Secretary of the Government of the Federation, SGF, made the disclosure on Thursday at a public hearing of the House of Representatives on crude oil theft. The SGF, who was represented by Maurice Nandi, the Permanent Secretary General Services, revealed that the federal government was worried about the report of the Nigerian Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, (NITI). Newsmen report that NITI had stated that over $46 billion worth of crude oil was stolen between 2009 and 2020. Reacting to the report, he explained that the federal government was concerned about the report the House of Representatives had set up a special committee headed by Ado Doguwa, the chairman, House Committee on Petroleum Upstream, to investigate the losses in the oil and gas sector. Speaker of the House, Tajuddin Abbas, who was also represented by Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kano, said $10 billion has been lost to crude oil theft in 7 months, and no magic can be done by the government with such a loss. For more of this, please visit Daily Post newspaper. The federal government spent $1.5 billion to protect oil installations in 4 years, says SGF Akume. In another news, traditional rulers yesterday appealed to those planning the protest by wary of actions that can plunge the country into anarchy. They spoke with reporters after a meeting with the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The monarchs were led by the Sultan of Sokoto Mohammed Saheed Abubakar III and the Oni of Ife Oba Adeyeye Enito Gusi. Oni, co-chairman of the National Council of Traditional Rulers of Nigeria, urged protesters to exercise their civic right peacefully. It's their civic right, but let them put a face to it and don't let it be hijacked by people that have ulterior motive. That's our stand. Dein of Agbo, Kagboro Kuzi, Ikechukwu, Benoba appealed to the youth to refrain from destructive protest, urging them to work with the government to find solutions to the country's challenges. He urged calm and collaboration, encouraging youth to give the government a chance to address their concern and find a solution. For more details, please visit the Nation newspaper. Protest: Monarch States rise against violent action. To bring the newspaper review this morning to a close, here is the recap of headlines. Tinubu rallies NSA monarchs as hunger protest looms. I would have dropped governorship ambition if Obaseki was reasonable, says Shahibu. Oyo Messi faction opposes fresh election process for Walafi. Federal government spent $1.5 billion to protect oil installations in 4 years, says SGF Akume. Protest: Monarch states rise against violent action. And with that, we've come to the end of newspaper review this morning. Thank you for joining us. My name remains Joseph Oyukola. Good morning.